So Bill Clinton gave a speech last night at the DNC, and I actually expected it to be pretty good, but it wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't that good. I mean, I remember in 2012 when he gave a speech, it was great. Like, I remember being floored by how good it was because he just got up there and he kept basically just making the case how Democrats are so much better than Republicans, and he gave a lot of facts in that speech. I remember one thing that stuck with me was the jobs report, how he said there's been X number of Democratic presidents and Republican presidents since this year, so they say they're better with the private sector. Well, let's look at the scorecard. How'd that work out? And the Democrats created millions upon millions more jobs than the Republicans did. So he's like, look, it's just not true that they're better with the economy. We are objectively better, at least if your measure is jobs. So that's just one thing he did in 2012, but it was among many other things where I was like, he's making a really, really strong, wonky case in 2012 as to why the Democrats are better than the Republicans, and you got to vote for Obama because Mitt Romney's an idiot, and yada, yada, yada. This time around, it was just too personal for my tastes. Now, I get it. You know, some people could counter and say, well, that's what he's trying to do this time around because Hillary Clinton is the Democratic nominee for president, so he's playing the role of the first husband. So he's got to go out there and basically talk her up and give the personal angle and, you know, try to do more humanization of her. And that's the role and that's the whole goal. But I don't know, it just was wholly unconvincing to me. Now, I'm sure some people watched it and they loved it, but it was like, well, when Hillary and I first saw each other and went on our first date, we went to Denny's. They didn't really go to Denny's. I don't know if Denny's even existed back when they went on their first date. And then we drove and I met her parents, and it was so wonderful, and we were in the library and we locked eyes. I don't give a fuck. What does this have to do with the kid who's hungry in Cleveland? It's got dick to do with that, and, you know, I don't know. I'm a cynical prick. Everybody knows that, but I view everything that's not directly about policy as a distraction from policy because they don't plan on doing all that much to fix the real problem. So, hey, let me talk about how I'm just like you normal folk. I'm just like the peasants. Me and Hillary met at college. I didn't have the nerve to talk to her at first, and then I got it eventually. Yeah, Bill, I really don't give a shit. So the reason why I say it wasn't a horrible speech, though, is because he closed somewhat strong and he got a little more political towards the end, and the crowd got more into it towards the end. But Bill's speech, and actually the entire night, had two flaws, two really big flaws. It was light on policy substance, and they barely mentioned Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to beg the Democrats here for a second. You have to stop with this flowery, happy-go-lucky, over-the-top, let's pretend like everything is wonderful approach to the conventions. Because that's not going to sell, that's not going to work, that's really disconnected from the mood in the country. So they're trying to pull this, you know, polar opposite move of the Republican convention, where the Republicans were like, the fucking place is burning down, everything's on fire, everybody get the fuck out of here, oh my god, ISIS, oh my god, crime, oh my god, this, oh my god, undocumented immigrants, you're all gonna die, you're all gonna die, you're all gonna die, but Trump can save you. Like, that was their argument. So it was just all fearmonger, 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 hey, but we got this guy here. Now, you could argue they were too heavy on the fearmongering, and in fact, I did. I said it was too much they're coming for you, because it was in their case. But the Democrats, it's not enough talking about the actual issues that face the country. I mean, the only person that did that was Bernie Sanders yesterday. I think Michelle Obama, actually 2 days ago, I think Michelle Obama gave a fantastic speech, but Bernie Sanders also gave a great speech, and he did a typical Bernie Sanders, where he's like, okay, here's the problems, here's the policy solutions, okay, this is why Trump cannot be president, and let's all move on from here. So that's the direction you need to go, but nobody's really going hard after Trump. I mean, there's been some sprinkles of it, but not enough. It's not a theme. It's not a theme of, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a fucking fascist on the doorstep of becoming president of the United States of America. There's a two-bit con man who might be the most powerful person in the world. Watch out! Watch the fuck out! There's none of that. And there's a great article in the Daily Beast yesterday about this. They said, Bill Clinton was cute, but it's time to rip Donald Trump's face off. Yeah, it is time to rip his face off. So it's been going on for 2 days. I haven't heard much about the fact that Donald Trump promised to murder civilians. You know, I would make that kind of a big thing if it was my Democratic convention and I'm going against this jackass Republican on the other side. I would have every speaker bring that up. Remember, guys, Donald Trump says he will kill civilians on purpose. We call that a terrorist where I'm from. Don't take my word for it. Take his words for it. Run the clip. You show the clip of him saying, we have to, I remember the slow motion clip I did of it. He's like, we have to take out their families. We have to take out their families. So when you do that, what happens? You paint the mental picture. Grandma and grandpa sitting there, boom, blow up in a drone strike, and President Trump laughing. Fucking make that. Show a drone strike and then show Trump. Why? Because you could say, oh man, you're fear-mongering there, but it's actually true. Republican fear-mongering is rarely connected to the truth. Democratic fear-mongering is almost always connected to the truth because they don't like fear-mongering. So whenever they bring up a problem like, whoa, 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 look at this, there's usually a real problem there. Like, they brought this up. This was a Republican criticism of the Democrats on day one, and I actually kind of agree with it. They're like, you didn't even bring up ISIS at all. There's over 60 speakers. You didn't bring up ISIS at all. Yeah, that is a little silly. I mean, come on. Like, all these issues that are climate change, ISIS, I mean, you go down the list of all these different things that, income inequality, where everybody should be like, oh, fuck, we got a huge problem here. Instead, the Democrats are like, we like puppies, and we like rainbows. And Hillary Clinton is awesome. Vote for her. First woman president, yes. That's another thing. They just keep saying, okay, the first woman, shatter that glass ceiling. First woman president. Now, don't get me wrong. Can you mention that and should you mention that every now and then? Sure. But bringing it up like every fucking speech and just rub it, first woman president. Don't fuck this up, America. You do that while Trump is talking about TPP and corruption, you're going to get your ass handed to you. They don't get it. They're so arrogant, and you could tell that this convention is playing defense. So they're not really, going for the jugular with Trump. When that's the only way to beat Trump, you have to attack and attack and attack and attack. So say that he wants to kill civilians. Bring up the fact that he promises to bring back torture. When asked about waterboarding, he said, I'm going to bring back worse than waterboarding. He said, I'm going to torture, quote, even if it doesn't work. Paint him as a bloodthirsty moron because he's a bloodthirsty moron. Talk about how he said, I'll just make a deal on U.S. debt. He's fine with defaulting on U.S. debt, causing a worldwide depression. Dude, that's not like a rational position. That's not in the realm of debate for, what's the right thing to do. But that's how he treated his businesses, so he thinks I'll treat the U.S. economy like that. Why are you not talking about that? These are all huge things. These are all things that basically disqualify him from being president. He doesn't know the difference between Hamas and Hezbollah. He doesn't know the difference between the Kurds and the Quds Force. This guy is not educated enough to be the most powerful person on the planet. Even putting judgment aside, and we all know his judgment sucks too. Why not bring up the fact repeatedly? I would show the fucking tweet on the giant screen behind you. Donald Trump's tweet about how, global warming or climate change is a Chinese hoax. Do you realize how stupid that comment is? It doesn't get much more stupid than that. So put it up on the screen. Fucking show it and laugh. Everybody in the fucking audience can laugh. Talk about how he says, and you can play the clip of this too from the debate, he wants to lower wages. He wants to lower wages. Who says that? Donald Trump said that in a debate. There were minimum wage protesters outside of one of the arenas, and they asked a question, hey, should we do something on that? He's like, no, wages are too high. We need to lower wages. That's unbelievable. Bring that up. show it over and over and over. Make even Republicans go, damn, this guy's a little fucking crazy, isn't he? Talk about how Trump University is a fraud. Now, they had one speaker who actually was duped over by Trump University, and she did a good job, I think. This was on the first day. But I would keep bringing it up and make it a thing, man, because it's so obvious, you know, all the different stories. You have the Attorney General of New York who was like, this is clear fraud. It was not even close. Talk about how he's involved in 3,500 lawsuits. That's a record for somebody who's running for president. 3,500. That's unbelievable. Talk about how while he talks about trade, he ships his jobs overseas. Hey, idiot, your ties are made in China. As you're like, China, puh, we got to fucking fight back. That's what we got to do. Your ties are made there. Now, every time I bring this up, people act like, oh, what do you mean? Like there's no hypocrisy there. Hey, guys, you're not automatically enrolled in programs to outsource your jobs. Donald Trump has shit made in Mexico and shit made in China as he rips outsourcing and free trade. Nobody forced him to put those jobs overseas and make money that way. He chose to do that. So when everybody acts like, no, he'll still bring the jobs back when he's president. Dude, he didn't even bring the jobs back for his own companies. If he's not going to do it for himself, why the fuck do you think he'd do it for the entire economy? He's not going to do that. You've been had. You've been took. You've been bamboozled. That's Donald Trump. That's Donald Trump, and that's what he's done to you. And if the Democrats don't fucking highlight this and don't say, you believe this clown? Then they're in trouble. Because puppies and rainbows and all that stuff, it doesn't sell at a time in American history when populism is... It's beyond fashionable. It is the core of American politics at the moment. So you got to stop running a PC campaign. You got to stop pretending everything's all flowers and puppies and rainbows. You have to get real, and you have to go for the fucking jugular. You know, Obama, who usually is not good at this kind of stuff, in 2012, you go back and you watch aspects of that campaign, I mean, he fucking destroyed Mitt Romney. He just absolutely owned Mitt Romney because he didn't fuck around. He went for the jugular. So that worked. That worked. But it doesn't appear like the Democrats are doing that this time around, and that's the only thing that will defeat Trump. Hillary Clinton said in her 60 Minutes interview with Tim Kaine the other day, when she was asked, how do you respond to Trump calling you Crooked Hillary? Her response was, I don't respond. In other words, I'm above that. I'm above the fray. Thank you very much. Next question. Okay, I know you think that portrays you as more of an adult, but you're not. Everybody knows that you're willing to play dirty politics. Look at what you did to poor Bernie Sanders. And what you did to him was unfair. I'm asking you to be tough and fair against Trump. But you fucking kneecapped this poor guy, you and the DNC. Everybody, you're fucking Hillary Clinton. We all know you're not above the fray and holier than thou, and I don't run campaigns like that, thank you very much. No, that's not true. We all know that's not true. So as you pretend to be above the fray, everybody knows you're not above the fray, and then you just let him run roughshod over you and define the whole election. Crooked Hillary, crooked Hillary, crooked Hillary. Everybody's going to call you fucking Crooked Hillary. Unless you rebut it and go over the top and call him Terrorist Don or call him something that says, no, shift the focus on you. I'm framing this fucking election. Look at what happened to John Kerry. He was a war hero. He decided, I'm not going to respond to the attacks from the Republicans who call me a war criminal. What happened? He got his ass handed to him in the election. So see what happens when you pretend I'm above the fray and I'm not going to respond to these attacks and I'm not going to counterattack. You think you're above the fray. You're not above the fray. You're not above the fray. You know how you win in politics? You go for the jugular, you attack, and you win, and you make the better argument, you make the stronger argument, you make it more forcefully, you make it repeatedly, and you let them know this isn't a choice. I'm going to win. But Trump's the one that's doing that now, not Hillary, so look out.